And in the Impact segment tonight, the Tea Party versus the Republican Party. In Virginia, Tea Party guy Ken Cuccinelli lost his bid for governor, and exit polling shows that 28% of Virginia voters support the Tea Party. 42% oppose, 28% are neutral. Meantime, in New Jersey, moderate Republican Governor Chris Christie won re-election easily. Joining us now from Boynton Beach, Florida, Alan West, who generally supports the Tea Party. Do the Virginia numbers concern you, Mr. West?
No, they don't so much concern me, Bill, because I think that if you've been demonizing an organization like we've seen that happen with the Tea Party, you're going to see those numbers reflect such. If you were to take that same poll and go out and talk about excessive government spending or growing debt, if you were to talk about onerous taxation or small business growth and development, or even talk about national security, I think that you would see people supporting those positions in a positive way.
But here's the
problem.
problem.
I think the thing that
Here's the problem, and I think you're right about the perception of the Tea Party. It's shaped by a hostile media. But there's no spokesperson for the Tea Party. See, it's fragmented by design. It's a state-run grassroots movement, and there's nobody to really fight back on the national level to get the message out that the Tea Party isn't a subversive organization. It's an organization that has these set of beliefs that reflect a lot of people's belief system. But the GOP is the Republican Party. There's a fierce debate and war inside that party. Chris Christie and Jeb Bush and the moderate faction versus Rand Paul and Ted Cruz, and they are still loggerheads, and I don't know how that's going to play out.
Well, it comes all the way back to leadership, Bill. That's the very simple thing. The Tea Party believes in this decentralization, but that can also lead to what you just said, fragmentation, of course, being easily picked off. They need a strategic marketing and communications plan, but most importantly, these people should sit down at a table and come up with a platform that talks about what they are for, not so much what they are against.
But that would take a cohesive organization, a lot of money, and then they don't see that. But here's something else coming down the pike that everybody should be aware of: immigration reform. Now, the Tea Party is not going to want that, all right? They're not going to want, and I'm speaking generally now, they're not going to want to give illegal aliens anything. The moderate wing of the Republican Party, John McCain, they do want it, saying, and rightly so, we've got to convince Hispanic Americans to give us a look and at least support us. If you're going to say no on immigration reform, you got to kick them out of the country, and that's it. We're doomed. So now you're going to have another issue, and believe me, President Obama, the only way he gets out of Obamacare is by making the immigration thing, and he's going to do everything he can to get that in the forefront. But then you have another battle between the moderates and the Tea Party.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The president's going to pivot away from that because that's more politics than policy. But let's look at what Governor Chris Christie did up in New Jersey that was successful for him and gave him the black vote. He came out very strongly on school choice, and he got the Black Ministers Association's vote. And then in Washington, D.C., I attended a rally where you had Democrats, black Democrats, that understood the adverse effects immigration reform as it is written would have on the black community as far as unemployment, further depressing their wages. So there are ways that we can have the right policy solutions if we just sat down and came together on this instead of being two ships passing in the night shooting broadsides at each other.
I don't know if the moderate wing of the Republican Party is ever going to reach détente with the Tea Party over immigration. It's just too emotional and bitter. It's bitter. And believe me, the Democratic Party, and Hillary Clinton in particular, savoring that. You know, peel off the Hispanic vote and they win. I mean, Republicans need 40% of Hispanic Americans to vote the GOP in order to get the presidency back. That's what they need. And if the Republican Party opposes immigration reform, as the Tea Party will, doomed.
Well, I don't think you have to sit back and say we're just going to grant amnesty. I really do believe that you can have a tiered type of plan. We can get to the point where we have a guest worker program. But most importantly, what are the values of the Hispanic community? Let's talk about their communities. Let's talk about family. Let's talk also about small business entrepreneurship and growth.
Would you be, say you were approached, because I know you have associations with some people, would you be willing to be the leader of the Tea Party? Would that be something that interests you?
Well, I mean, if people come to me, I will do that. Of course, I get the opportunity to go around the country and speak. I'll be out in Utah and speaking at Northwestern University next week. So I'll take that message on the road.
All right, Mr. West, thank you very much.